I didn't even hit record. There we go. So playlist is linked. Make your way into child's pose. If you have 2 blocks, having them handy. It's a cold, rainy day in Vancouver, so if you want a blanket or something, you can have that as well. So bringing your knees wide apart, maybe your big toes touch, maybe they don't. Neither resting your forehead down on a ground or perhaps on a block. So the next 45 minutes or so, meeting yourself with a little bit of grace and softness. Knowing that we're going to be moving a lot slower today. What do you need to tell yourself so that you could be here in your body? And kind of put aside what awaits you after you roll up your mat. And if you have your head on a block, moving the block out of the way, reaching your hands a little bit more forward. And then take a big breath in through your nose. And exhale gently out your mouth. And feel free to stay here, or maybe start to walk your hands over towards the right, opening through the left side of your body. And back through center over towards the left. And then come back through center. Bring your knees a little closer together and start to find maybe that cat-cow movement. A little more freestyle. And as you move, one way that helps me stay present and in my body is kind of like thinking, what's the rush? Like, where are you going? There's nowhere else that you need to be right now. And if you're just joining us, here's a playlist if you want it. A few more breaths here. Maybe close your eyes. You can start to drop down into your heart. And as much as this is an expansion and opening through your spine, also using the same care and attention to notice maybe your stomach, or your chest, or the front of your shoulders. And bring your knees a little closer together. Up to you if you want to have your toes tucked or untucked. And then shift your bum onto your heel so you're in a kneeling shape. Bring your hands down beside you. And then maybe a little bit further back. Relax your shoulders here. Let your hips be heavy, but maybe you lengthen through the crown of your head. So perhaps think about your hips, shoulders, and ear holes in one line. And as much as there's a lift through the chest, there's also softening or humbling of the chin. You know that if your hands don't touch the ground, that's totally okay. You can also make your way into a seated shape, cross-legged. And then if you want, you could bring your ear over to one shoulder. Oh yeah. Stretching down one side of your neck through your traps. And maybe those fingertips can actually walk a little further out. Ooh. And start to play around with some micro movements here. So maybe that chin goes a little bit more over towards your shoulder, maybe not. Ooh. Again, what's the rush? Know where you need to go right now. Roll your chin down and around and over to the other side. We walk your fingertips back in a bit and then these fingers on the opposite side further away. Ooh. You know, it's only 45 minutes, but can you really be mindful with this time to use it to fill up your own cup? To notice how you're feeling in your body and in your heart. Chin back in towards you, maybe roll your neck side to side. And then hands on your legs. Start to roll your shoulders back and down a couple times. Ooh. It's amazing how such a small movement can make such a difference to the upper part of your body. Then open your legs wide again. And then sink your hips back. Come back into your child's pose. So maybe this time you bring a little bit more of the crown of your head down on the ground. And then interlace your hands near your low back. Bring your palms to touch as much as you can. And then maybe you start to reach your hands up towards the ceiling. And then feel free to adjust however you need. So if you think about it, you could have your hands really, really straight. Or if you want to take this more into your shoulder heads, bending deeply into your elbows and then trying to reach your hands up. It'll also be a little bit more challenging. So just make sure that that breath is consistent on the inhale and exhale. Release your hands back down, walk them out in front of you, slide them out. Come into your puppy dog pose. So maybe your chin rests down on the ground or lifted, depending how open you are through your shoulders. Your bum is high. Stay for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slide yourself more forward. Lower your hips down. Plant your palms, and your choice if you want to come into a cobra or an up dog. And I encourage you to bring your feet really wide apart. And depending what shape you're in, if you chose up dog, maybe you want to have your gaze go up as well. Squeezing your glutes to help protect your low back. Take one more big breath in. And then exhale, bend deeply into your elbows, lower yourself back down. Tuck your toes, push back through child's pose to your down dog. And know that if you don't feel like doing down dog today, you don't have to. You could also stay in child's pose or tabletop. Again, pedaling out your heels if you want, finding any micro movements. Bend deeply into your knees, shift your bum back, and then slowly start to straighten out your legs. Gaze is towards your stomach here. And take a big breath in. Exhale out your mouth. Walk your feet up towards your hands, forward fold top of your mat. 5 breaths in any variation that you want. So you could grab opposite elbows. You let your hands ragdoll on the ground. And then close your eyes so you can tune into your body and see what it's asking for right here. Fingertips back down on the ground. Chin in towards your chest. Take your time ragdolling up to standing. Go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll your shoulders back and down. Good job. And sometimes, yeah, you need to hear a good job for ragdolling up to standing. It's the middle of the week. Take it easy on yourself. You've already been working a lot today. It's all good. Standing at the top of your mat, shift your weight into your right foot. And then cross your left leg over on top, finding your way into eagle legs. So some of us might be able to hook those left toes around your left calf. And if not, you could also place your left toes down on the ground. Open your arms out wide. And then right arm reaches underneath the left for eagle arms. So as you make your way into this shape, bring your elbows up high and then your back a little bit more straight as if you're trying to lean back against a wall. Take a big breath in. And then exhale, maybe sink your bum down. Good, bend deeply into your knees. Good, keep those shoulders pushing back. Keep your hands where they are. Stand yourself back on up. Draw that left knee in towards you. And then start to tip and hinge. Straighten out that left leg long down your mat. Woo! Heel toe that right foot far over towards the right. If you can, try and keep your arms still bound in eagle arms. And then pivot your left foot down 45 degrees if it isn't already. Take a big breath in, gaze goes up, reach your arms up. And as you exhale, fold to the inside of your right leg, humble warrior. And hang out here, try and draw that right hip back just a little bit and still keep a generous bend in your right knee. Use your inhale, push down through your feet, come back up to a warrior 2 with your eagle arms. And again, when you're ready, exhale to fold. And then move with your breath. You know the routine. If you want to challenge yourself, you could close your eyes. Next time you fold to the inside, unravel your arms. Left fingertips go far off your mat to left side. Come back onto the ball of that left foot, and then your right arm reaches up. So high revolved lunge. And if you feel really supported here, maybe you can open that right arm over towards the left. Relax your neck and clench your jaw. Lift a little bit more through that left thigh. Take a big breath in. And then exhale, bring your right hand back down to the ground, plant your palms, and then your choice for what you would like to do here. For some, you might want to push back into a down dog, tabletop, or child's pose. There's no rush. There's no right or wrong. And then whatever shape you're in, transition over towards the top of your mat, forward fold. Clasp your hands again at your low back. Draw your elbows closer together and then maybe start to reach your hands up. Notice if you're pushing down through your inner arches or heavily to the out, try and find an even balance here. Hands back to your low back, reach them down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Slowly ragdoll up to standing. This time go for a count of 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, real slow, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll your shoulders back and down once you reach the top. And then this time, shift the weight into your opposite foot. Maybe your left leg this time, right leg wraps around. Find your eagle legs. Arms open up. Left arm underneath. Yeah, left arm underneath right for eagle arms. And then start to send your bum back. Try and keep your shoulders back. Good. Bending as much as you can into that left leg. Gaze is soft. And then keep your arms in a shape. Stand yourself on up. Draw your right knee in towards you. Ooh. And then exhale, tip and hinge. Straighten out that right leg long down your mat. Pivot it down 45 degrees. Generous bend in your front knee. Inhale, reach your elbows high. Gaze goes up towards ceiling. And then exhale, fold to the inside of your left leg. And adjust your feet however you need. Push down through your heels. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale to fold. And you know the drill. Move with your breath. And the next time you fold, unraveling your arms, right fingertips far off your mat to the right side. Go into the ball of that right foot. And then your left arm reaches up. Ever so slightly pulling your left hip back, right hip forward. Find a lift through your right inner thigh. Maybe open your left arm back behind. Another big breath in. And then exhale, bring your left fingertips down, right hand back onto the mat. Step back into a high plank, and then lower yourself all the way down. Untuck your toes, bring your feet wider apart. And again, up to you if you want to come into a cobra, an up dog, or if there's some other back bend variation you want. Come down onto your forearms. Whichever shape you're in, think about pushing your pubic bone down into the ground to find a lift through your abdominal muscles here. And then push the tops of your feet down. Take another big breath in. And then exhale, slowly lower yourself down. Whew. Left forearm comes in front, kind of parallel-ish with the short edge of your mat. Bend your right knee, and then grab your right foot if it's available to you with your right hand. So we're gonna turn this a little bit more into a shoulder opener. So I like to actually come up and bring that left elbow closer towards me. And if it's available to you, your top hand, it comes onto the top of your foot, and then you pivot your fingers towards your body. So this might be quite intense on your right knee. So try and push down through your pubic bone here. And then by curling it forward, you get into that shoulder head. So it's kind of like a double whammy. Good, release, and then switch sides. Release that foot. Plant your palms, tuck your toes, come back up to tabletop. Couple cycles of cat-cow to relieve your low back. Next time when you inhale, draw your right leg up, keep a generous bend. So it's kind of like you're trying to bring your heel and head to touch. Hopefully that doesn't happen. And as you exhale, curl and round. 2 more times, inhale. Exhale, curl and round, nose to knee. Last one, inhale. And then come back to neutral, but keep your right leg lifted. Bring your left fingertips a little bit more forward and off your mat to left side. For a little more stability, tuck your left toes. And then maybe your right hand can reach back and grab the top of your right foot for tiger stretch. Ooh. So at first it might be easier to open your body open towards the right, kind of like sugar cane. And then maybe you start to turn your right hip down. And then push your foot into your hand, reach it up high towards the ceiling. Yeah, and don't worry too much if your weight is leaning heavily on the left side, that's going to happen. Bring that knee back down. Ooh. And then switch sides, right fingertips far over towards the right side. Maybe tuck your right toes if it gives you more stability. And then first, inhale, bending at your left leg. Gaze goes up, heel goes up. Exhale, curl and round. And a few more times, careful not to dump into your low back, so still try and find a strength through your core. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale. Exhale, come to neutral. And then when you're ready, left hand reaches back to that left foot. Maybe you start to square off your hips. Push your foot into your hand. And then slowly release. Hands back down on the ground, knees go wide, big toes touch. If you have your blocks, grab them and have them ready. Maybe placing your hands on them and then bring them wider apart. Yeah. And if you don't have blocks, you could always use books or pillows. And then again, drop back down into your heart. Slow your breath back down. Now, if you have blocks or props, walk them in a little bit closer and then bring your elbows down onto them. Your palms can touch, and then maybe your hands come back onto either the base of your neck or maybe a little bit more in between your shoulders for heart stretch. And this shape can also be done without props. You just will have your hands a little bit closer towards the back of your neck. And as you find this quite intense stretch, start to notice and listen. Listening to your body or listening to your heart. Notice if you can find maybe 5% more comfort here, adjusting however you need. And then stretching your arms back out, moving your props out of your way. And maybe come back into a regular stretch here, reaching your arms forward. Ooh, what a difference. Whatever shape you're in, take a big breath in and out. And 2 more times, big inhale. And then exhale, let it go. 1 more time, inhale. And exhale. Walking your hands back towards your knees, rolling yourself up vertebrae by vertebrae. Good. And then slide your legs out in front of you. Ooh, and then make your way down onto your back. I had this whole idea that we're gonna like do camel and all these like big back bends. I'm like, you know what? Maybe not today. We don't always need to go big. So once you make your way down onto your back, keep your left knee drawn in and extend your right leg down long. Then up to you as to whether you want to keep that left knee drawn in close towards you, if you want to open it further out towards the left side. Yeah, okay, good. And then perhaps from here, your right hand can grab the outside of your left foot and then turn your leg towards you. So it's like you're in a supine pigeon shape. The inside part of your left shin is turned towards you. And then up to you, you can kind of play around here and maybe draw that shin in closer or further away. You can also play around with it, bring it more over towards the right or the left. Depending on your mobility, maybe even bring that left sole of your foot into your right elbow. You could also hook your arms underneath, bring it closer in. Oh. And as you know, just because it's an option doesn't mean you have to do it. Guide that knee back in towards you. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, bring it over towards the right into a twist. Slow down your breath. Maybe try and find a little bit of space in between each thought. With control, draw that knee a little bit more in towards you and then back. Oh. The left sole of your foot comes to your inner right thigh, resting down in tree pose, but lying down here, maybe placing your hands on your hips. Coming back to what's the rush? Know that this is exactly where you're meant to be right now. Straighten out your left leg. Draw your right knee in towards you. Bring that knee towards center, a little bit further out to the side. And then again, your variation of the supine pigeon. Find stillness or maybe a little bit of movement. You can kind of play around here. Again, one option. Hooking around. It's wild how limited your motion can be when you try and keep your head and your shoulders down. And draw that knee back in towards you. Take a big breath in. And then exhale, bring your right knee over towards the left for a gentle twist. You can always bend your bottom leg too, or use a block underneath your right knee. Whatever shape you're in, take a big breath in and out. Bring your knees back through center. Ooh. Take any movement that you need, so maybe rocking side to side, reaching your legs up or anything else, maybe bridge. And then make your way down into your final portion of rest. I know that we've got time today, like there's really no rush. It's kind of nice. This is like a celebratory way of moving into fall. So giving yourself permission to move slow, go in. And whichever shape you're in, take a really big breath in through your nose, like really, really, really big. Take another sip at the top, and another sip. And then exhale, let it go. And do that one more time. Take a big breath in, fill up all the way down to the base of your lungs. Take another sip in, another sip in, and exhale, let it go. And then coming back to your normal breathing, lying here. We'll be here for about 4 minutes, and I encourage you to really take that full 4 minutes. What I really love about the Arc'teryx crew is like none of you ever try and sneak out of Shavasana early. So it's like really bask in it, bask in this moment where nothing is needed of you, nothing's required. And you could choose to be present, you could let your mind go. You could float in and out of consciousness. Again, drop into your heart here. Allow this moment to catch and hold you. Be soft, be tender. And just be. And then slowly starting to deepen your breath. Maybe turning your head side to side. Reach your arms up. You can take a big stretch. And slowly make your way on up to seated, where we will all meet. And hands in any shape that represents ending the practice for you. Closing out our time with one singular breath, so emptying your lungs. Taking a big, gentle breath in through the front, the sides, and the back of your body. And exhale, release. Thank you so much, everyone. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time out to move slow today. I hope you leave here feeling maybe a little bit better than before. And as always, if you have any comments or questions, just let me know. And otherwise, have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you all on Monday.